This is your funeral music, where we're listening to the jams you won't get to hear. Coming to you on volunteer-run WFNU LP, Frogtown Community Radio at 94.1 FM on your dial right here in St. Paul, Minnesota, or streaming online worldwide at WFNU.org. Thank you for joining us. I'm Michael Vensky. Have you ever thought about what songs you want played at your funeral? What music do you want to share? Consider coming on the air and sharing your tunes with us. And if you feel more comfortable, hey, you can always remain anonymous too. That's fine. Either way, we'd love to work with you to get the songs that you want played. You can learn more at yourfuneralmusic.com. And if this is your first visit with us, each week we take time from our busy, busy lives to slow down and contemplate our own mortality with a new guest to share songs they want played at their funeral, along with some of the meaning behind the music. Our guest this week is 30-year-old Carol Hammerlindl, and she was born and raised right here in St. Paul's Midway neighborhood. During this time, she found the love of music through her family, dancing on the front lawn with her friends and neighbors, and since that time, she has avidly collected songs and artists to enjoy and share with those that she meets. We're lucky that we're those people. Carol, she views music as a thread through her life's ups and downs, as well as a way of understanding those in her life and connecting with new friends. This is your funeral music, Carol Hammerlindl. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
It's so nice to have you here. I'm honored that you're sharing your time with us today, because this is kind of a big ask to come up with such a personal list of songs, and you've done it.
Yeah, it was hard. I'm not gonna lie. I had 20, and then I had 15, and then I had 11, and then I had 11, and then I had 11, and then finally I made it to 10, and then we had to edit that a little bit, and got back to 10. It was hard, but it's something that I'll continue to develop and change as life goes on.
Did you talk to your family about this process? Are they aware? They
are aware. They started suggesting things immediately.
Songs for you to play.
Yeah. And because we are such a huge family, music family, that's just something that from my earliest memories, the music was going on at all times.
Are there some songs that they recommended right away that are not on this playlist?
Absolutely.
What are some of the ones that they wanted you to play?
So I did pick a Tom Petty song, but my family is a huge Tom Petty fans overall. Yeah. We just all connected that way. And then, there's some songs that I'll get into that are from, my mom and my sisters and things like that. And then also, too, just other songs that I left out that were more either personal or more about a specific person in our family that, you hold back. That's something that will be played, for somebody else rather than hey, this is me. I made this playlist.
Before we began recording, you had said something really, really beautiful about the act of coming together to celebrate someone's life and the interaction of people from all kinds of walks of life who've interacted with you in some capacity. Would you build upon, or would you share that with our listeners?
Absolutely. So when I was younger, I was a very quiet kid. I was attached to my mom's hip or leg. Even in church, I ran up to her while she was giving, that week's reading, and I would just, latch onto her leg. So I had trouble, getting into the group, into, a peer group. And
because it's difficult to bring your mom along.
Exactly.
When you're trying to make friends sometimes. Yeah.
Please.
And this is my mother's leg.
Yep. She can't leave. No. But, she sat me down early and was like, you just got to learn to get out there. And one of the ways that I learned to get out there was music. And I found a way to kind of connect with people through music. And, as you know, I meet people people fairly easily. I learned to create friends and find, what can we talk about? What is our conversation topic that'll get us going? And all that's credit to my mother. Like she's like, look, you can't go on like this,
So mom gave you
yeah.
the push toward music.
Yeah, she gave me the push towards music and the push to open up myself to find a connection with people. And I think because of my family, that connection just naturally became music.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Let's dive into some music, okay?
Let's go.
This first song, we're opening tonight's show with Missing You, a song by American singers Brandy, Gladys Knight, Chaka Khan, and Canadian R&B musician Tamia. The song, it was used to promote the 1996 film Set It Off. Did you see this film?
I did not.
Neither did I. But I'm going to bucket list it now to say, check that off. I've done it.
Yeah.
How did you decide to start here tonight?
So I wanted a cold start, something that just to me, like I'm imagining my funeral, right? And I'm like, I gotta hit them with something right away that'll kind of be a cathartic piece. And this is a song that in it says my sister, my strength, my pride. And so that is actually a saying that me and my sisters have, that we say to each other constantly, is anytime we're going through anything or we're proud of each other, we'll just say, my sister, my strength, my pride. And it came from this song, and it's a very sad song, but overall it's really about that bond you have, and when you lose somebody so close to you, you can feel the music in it kind of just, it's a very, very deep start. It's very emotional song, and I wanted to make sure that, one, they knew that I didn't forget about our saint, right? Like, that's obvious. You got to call out things right away.
Like a nod.
Yeah, like a nod. Yeah, perfect. And then on top of it, it's, instead of weeding it into like the middle or the end of a playlist, I wanted it to be up front because it has that kind of impact right away. And it's very emotional. And almost, I mean, we grew up Christian. We went to church. I had a grandpa that was a Lutheran pastor. And so it almost kind of has that gospel type feeling, that soul to it, that I wanted to kind of call everybody's attention to, like, look, this is going to be music that's intentional, and it's going to bring you through a journey.
Well, let's go on that journey together right now.
Let's go.
Opening our night here at Your Funeral Music with Missing You. It's Brandy, Gladys Knight, Chaka Khan, and Tamia. Carol, you said something really, really beautiful at the while we were listening about why you wanted such a big, powerful song to open your funeral music.
Yeah, like I said before, it's cathartic. So I want people, like people cry at funerals, and if you have something kind of so bold and so loud and with layers, you can kind of get that ugly cry out.
Get your ugly cries out.
Yeah, it's cathartic. Everybody can get it going.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. This next song, this is a little more upbeat. This is from 1966, Warm and Tender Soul. This is Percy Sledge covering You Really Got a Hold on Me, a song originally written by Smokey Robinson. So why, just curious, why Percy and not Smokey?
Funny. Percy is just the version I found. Originally.
Gotcha.
This is from a movie called Breaking the Rules that me and my sisters watched together.
Another rule breaker.
Yep. And my life. And then we watched this movie, and in it, spoiler alert for
what year did this movie come out?
I have no idea.
Okay, Breaking the Rules.
Yes, it's an older movie, and we watched it together, and one of the friends in the group ends up dying.
Oh no!
And
I guess she did give us a spoiler alert.
Yep. And so one thing that they did together in that group was they sang this song, "You Really Gotta Hold on Me,"
from 1992.
Yes, the year I was born.
Carol, you had said something while we were listening to the song about another piece of this song that's so beautiful. Will you share it?
Absolutely. So a while ago, me and my sisters attended funerals, unfortunately, but one thing that became kind of a tradition is to play this song once everybody had left. All the visitors had left, and you're there with family, and us three sisters would get together, and we would stand by the casket or urn or whatever, and we would sing this song together. And it's our way of kind of processing as sisters the passing of somebody in the family.
It's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. And if you're listening out there and you got some family traditions, keep those in mind. Come be a guest. How's it going, Carol? Is this okay?
This is awesome.
Is this?
It's fun. It's
it's kind of weird. I know.
I get to talk about myself and my family, and share the love that I grew up with, and there's
right
nothing
here
bad
in St. Paul.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, this next song, it appeared in 1965 off the Beatles' Rubber Soul album, with lyrics being primarily written by John Lennon. Now, according to Lennon, it was his first real major piece of work because it was the first time that he ever wrote something about his own life. Have you ever put any part of your life to music, Carol? Are you a musician? Do you play anything?
I do not, and it is a sad, sad story of me trying to be a musician.
So why this song then?
Because I was going through a moment in my life, and my mom sent me this song, and she said, "When you feel this way about somebody, you'll know that they're the one and that you're in love." And I thought that was beautiful, especially with the lyrics of the song.
Great mom advice.
Right?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to go on the record and say I want to meet.
My mom is amazing.
I want to meet her.
She's intelligent and really, really on point.
I want to ask her, if you could give me any advice, what would it be? And just like, child, I don't know you, but here you go. Could I cling to her leg? That'd probably be weird. Okay. Anyway, let's move right along. So this next song, Wildflowers, it's the title track off the second solo studio album by American musician Tom Petty. Now, this was released November 1, 1994. The song ends with the lyrics, "You belong somewhere you feel free." Mm-hmm. Now, you said earlier that you wanted to have some Tom Petty. Your family immediately said Tom Petty. What can you tell us about this song, and where do you feel most free?
So this song is the one I chose out of the plethora of Tom Petty songs that I grew up on, and it's because I am kind of the wild, free spirit of the family, kind of does their own thing.
Are you the youngest?
I am. I'm the baby. I'm such the baby.
I've met your type.
I was, even at a young age, I was kind of always going on trips with friends and doing all that. And so I've kind of always lived free. And I always thought of it as something that, my parents or, my loved ones or even, a lover would say to me, if they truly understood me, be free, be you. And I actually have a pillow that has the lyrics of the song on it
really?
in my apartment.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Wow, this is
my song.
this isn't just a deep cut. This is a deep stitch.
Yes, it is.
Wildflowers. You got wildflowers on a pillow. You are the wildflower.
Yes, I might have a tattoo one day too.
Really?
Yeah.
You are going to have that as a
Yeah,
tattoo.
I'm gonna have some sort of like flower tattoos of wildflowers
Beautiful.
on my legs. Yeah.
Beautiful. You don't currently have a tattoo, do you?
I have many. I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
So this would be not a new experience.
No.
Okay. I don't have any tattoos.
You don't.
I don't, but if I ever did, I would get something that it ties in with one of the songs you actually have on your playlist.
Yes!
So we'll talk about that in just a moment.
That's awesome.
So this next song, America's Sweetheart. This was recorded by American singer and songwriter Elle King for her debut studio album Love Stuff, released in 2016. And I learned that Miss King is also the daughter of comedian Rob Schneider. Mm-hmm. That's just a fact I learned.
It's a fun fact.
America's Sweetheart.
Yes.
Who do you see as America's Sweetheart?
So I think it's kind of this idea of, there's even like, I think, a movie called America's Sweetheart or something like that. But kind of the idea of like, the picturesque girl on the poster who.
It has to be a girl.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm out.
Well, some, just even in general, like, there's just this, like, ideal America.
So is this like a kind of a antithetical thing?
Yes.
I want to be the opposite of that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, look, and what I love about this song is, one of the lines is, they don't make posters about my kind of life. Like, I lived a life that they won't put on posters. It's not going to be something that they're going to...
That's one of the lines?
Yes. They're not going to put it in a machine and, copy it out and have everybody kind of, play to the same music. I've kind of collected, for better or for worse, a weird scenario or bunch of different moments in my life that I don't think that people would normally celebrate, and she celebrates those moments in this song, and I think that that's more of what it's about. As far as musically, I don't appreciate the pop value of this song, but I enjoy
There's
the
a lot
lyrics.
of banjo.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of banjo, so if you're a
is.
fan of banjo, sit down, buckle in. You're about to be tickled. But you did say something about a billboard of your life, and it's kind of a fun little mental exercise. What would be on my billboard?
Yes.
What would be on my big piece of paper?
Oh, so many doodles.
This is Your Funeral Music, where we're listening to the jams you won't get to hear. Each week we take time from our busy lives and we slow down, we contemplate our mortality with a new guest to share songs that they want played at their funeral along with some of the meaning behind the music. Our guest this week is Carol Hammerlindl, and I am your host, Michael Vensky. Thank you again for tuning in. Carol, we are halfway through Your Funeral Music. How are you feeling so far?
Amazing. This is great.
What's this process been like for you? Has it been good?
It's joyful. It really is. It really, I'm happy to share it, especially with you.
Oh, thanks. That's nice of you to say. All right, well let's get back into the music here. This next song is called Rose Tattoo, and it comes from American Celtic punk band the Dropkick Murphys. Not the Dropkick Murphys. Dropkick
Murphys.
I apologize, DM fans. Dropkick Murphys, they originally released this as the lead single from the band's 8th studio album, Signed and Sealed in Blood, on November 7th, 2012. That is a serious album title. Yes. Oh my gosh. We go from Signed, Sealed, Delivered, I'm Yours to Signed and Sealed in Blood. All right, now this song is about a rose tattoo on Dropkick Murphys' bassist and songwriter Ken Casey's arm, and it serves as a memorial to his grandfather who raised him after his own father had died. So you had kind of alluded to having some tattoos. Do you have any tattoos like this?
Most of my tattoos are my siblings, related to my two older sisters, as we pointed out earlier. But I can see myself having like a whole sleeve dedicated to those who have influenced me in my life.
Yeah.
One thing I do enjoy about this song, though, is it's kind of, I feel like we all go through those rough patches in our life. And it starts off kind of with a raw description of how somebody starts off their day. Mm-hmm. And in that, while you're going through such a rough patch or something like that, you still can remember an ode to, those influencers in your life and have that kind of, ride or die mentality with those that you love, and that's kind of what keeps you going in those patches, and so I think having tattoos that ode to people, really, really resonates with the idea of, picking a playlist for your funeral, being tattooed, memorializing, your body to those in your life.
This is Your Funeral Music. If you're just joining us, welcome back. Now, this next song, Iris, was written specifically for the 1998 romantic movie City of Angels with Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan by Johnny Resnick, the frontman of the band The Goo Goo Dolls. And our guest of the week, Carol, has the rest of the story.
So I've never seen the movie, but I have a story. So the Goo Goo Dolls came to the Minnesota State Fair when I was a teenager, and I loved them. I was obsessed. And my best friend and I were sitting outside the grandstand, and I'm singing and dancing along to every song that I know. And people started kind of watching and being amused, and my friend is dying laughing, oh, Carol's getting the crowd started. So we had a fun night, we heard them close out, and then we started walking home because, at that time you walked to the state fair and you walked home from that. And on the way out, I bought a white rose for myself because I was like, you know what, I don't need anybody to buy me a rose. I'll buy myself a rose. And I wanted a white one. So I got a white one. And we're walking over the bridge. And there's a train underneath just going about its day. And we both stop and we're watching the train, and I take the top of the rose off and I throw it down, and it lands in the train and kind of goes off about its way. And my best friend Vanessa looks at me and goes, "You're going places."
We're going to close the night now. We're getting down here to the wire, and our next track, if I ever leave this world alive, it appears on the 2002 album Drunken Lullabies by the Irish-American punk band Flogging Molly. Now, Carol, if memory serves correctly, you are a proud German. What are the connections that you have to this Irish-American song?
So I grew up, one of my sister's boyfriends used to blare Irish music before he'd go and wrestle. And I'd never really,
It's like the appropriate wrestling anthem.
I never really, got into it ever. And then I had a ex-boyfriend who started playing Irish music for me, and I was like, oh, okay, I like this a lot. And
oh, that was a weird sound. This is volunteer-run community radio.
But that's how I got back into punk, really, is through the Irish punk music. So I think that this song especially on our topic for funerals, it's a great ode, and they have such great, big concept down to small detail songs that I think that this one kind of covers the gamut of what a funeral experience should be.
With that, we've reached the end of the show. I know. You made it. Good job, everybody. Carol, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It felt good to share.
I know it's difficult sometimes to talk about your funeral music or contemplating your mortality. It can be scary. But in Bhutan, they say that if you contemplate your own death 5 times a day, it'll create happiness.
Yeah, I believe that. If you know the end, kind of makes the in-between, means something more. You fight for that time a little bit more.
I love that. You fight for the time a little bit more.
Yeah. I'm going to plan my whole funeral now. And so everybody will hate me when they get the instructions.
That's the spirit. If we can just get everyone to... Well, wait, no, I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound positive. Carol, would you recommend this experience for others?
Absolutely. Not only for the mental exercise on its own, but just good conversation and being able to have the connection through music. I will always fight for that. I think that that's how people can connect, and it's important to connect to others.
So if you, dear listener, if you would like to be a guest on Your Funeral Music, please visit us online at yourfuneralmusic.com. We will be back again next week with a new guest, listening to the jams you won't get to hear, reflecting on what it means to be alive and how we all want to be remembered after we're gone. Wishing you well, Frogtown. Any closing remarks, Carol?
Yeah. Come on.
Come on.
Do it.
I love that. Well, thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
See you next week.